What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Friday, February 16th, 2024, and this is how we traded SPY today. Now, before we actually get into that, let's talk about what happened in pre-market. We had a couple of things come out in pre-market. So at 8:30 Eastern time this morning came out, and it was hot, folks. We had some reports that came out that were hot. I think month over month PPI, these types of things came in worse than expected. So, kind of we're thinking, pre-market had a nice little drop in this area. So we're thinking, it's just going to do nothing but go down all day. Now, when you have those feelings, folks, that is a bias. Please do not have a bias. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but do not have a bias. So let's look at what we have on the chart. We got a bunch of different levels on the chart today because there's just so much going on in these areas. But remember, as a 920 trader, we are going to rely on the 9 to the upside to act as support and back to the downside to act as resistance on our way to our specific targets. What I like to use is I like to use 30-minute zones. So those can be demand zones down low. Those can be supply zones up top. But just remember this, the higher the time frame, the stronger the level, folks. So the higher the time frame. So it can be a 30-minute. You can use 15-minute zones. You can use, 5-minute double tops, double bottoms throughout the day, as you will see on the chart, that we use those as different levels of support and resistance. Now, to take calls, in my opinion, what you want to do is you want to breach you want to get barely just above a strong level of support and get across to the 920. So that way you can predefine that risk that is just below you, again, just above support with across the 920 to the upside. Now for puts, we're looking for a cross to the downside just below a major level of resistance. And again, I like to use those 30-minute zones. So let's look what we have on the chart today. So we've got a pre-market high of about 503.29. We've got pre-market lows sitting down here at $500.46. So in addition to that, I thought, let's look for some zones down low because we did have the bad reports that came out today. So we got a 30-minute zone down here at $500.05. We've got another one at $499.49, $498.86, and so on and so forth. I didn't really look for anything up top. I mean, at this point, we're close to all-time highs. All-time high 503.55, but we did have all of this business again. Pre-market high 503.29. So we're going into the day knowing a couple of things, knowing that we had bad reports, and also knowing at 10 o'clock this morning we had the University of Michigan inflation expectations and consumer sentiment. If you have ever tried to trade while that report is coming out, folks, you know that it can swing wildly both ways, both to the upside and to the downside. So let's get into the day. Okay, so here we go. Here's that first play out of the gate. So again, remember this level right here, a massive or a major zone right in here, 501.86. Why? Well, this is from yesterday. Again, 501.85. I didn't take it right out of the gate, a little bit too early for me, but I was walking our folks in the community through this particular, through this zone. I said, hey, basically, if we're able to breach 501, whatever it is, 501.85 to the upside, we can potentially move up. We tested the area on the first candle, actually, that first candle out of the gate, and then came crashing down. Now, I had this cross to the downside. I had so I had VWAP, I had the 9, I had the 20, and I had POC sitting down here. But again, a little bit early for me to take the trade. So what did we do? We just ran down. Now, if you look left, we had all of this pre-market business to take care of before we could push it on down. So what did I do? I waited to kind of breach these areas down in here. Kind of got a recapture of the 9 right in here at, let's see what time it's at, 9:50. So about 20 minutes after open, I took this candle down. I had levels that I was looking for. So that first level I was looking for was $500.46, next level down. Now we're cruising through these levels. Remember, as a 920 trader, we're using the 9 as resistance on the way down to our levels. So we breached this first level with ease. That becomes our resistance at this point. Next level down, breached it with ease again, got through this level down here. 499.49. Bounced around for a couple minutes, and I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm good. Could have waited a couple more minutes, made a little bit more money on the play. But again, I wasn't interested in holding on to potentially, fly back up. So I didn't want to diddle in the middle, in other words, and go through this zone and potentially push it back up. So we had this first cross. I don't like to take that first cross. Remember, that first cross, generally speaking, we're just kind of testing the waters up high, see if there's any liquidity that we can grab, come back down. So we tested this level up here, $400.46. Came back down. We were able to get through one zone, but not that second zone low down here at $499.49. So I said, you know what, this second cross, let's see what we can do. Again, we are above a major level of support right here, $500.05. Pay close attention to that level, folks. It may just be important later on in the day. Okay, so anyway, I took this cross to the upside and I said, okay, if I can get a couple of zones, I'm fine with that. I took out this $500.46 pretty easily. A couple of candles, bounced around, and I took it off again right here at $500.21. We touched this level and I said, you know what? It's a decent trade at this point. So let's take that off the table. Now, the beauty of this play was once we got above VWAP, we were able to use both VWAP and this level, $500.46, as support on our way to our next level up top. Now you're thinking, well, you could have held on to that trade. And you're right, I could have held on to that trade because look at what it did. It just went and went and went and went. So I'm looking for the next cross at that point. Well, what do we have to the upside? $500, 501.85, right in here. Got that cross to the downside. Nothing confirmed into this cross as far as a downside move. So I'm thinking, you know what? I know I have support again on this major level. So this 501.85, 30-minute zone. So I said, you know what? Let's take this play back to the upside, 2 or 3 minutes. Boom. Hit that. What do we got right up in here? We got 502.44. And I said, you know what? That's probably good enough for right now. So I took it at this point. We're 3 hours into the trading day, 2-3 hours into the trading day at this point. I'm not going to play anything for right now. I actually went to lunch. I went to lunch right around in here. And one of the guys from the group called me. He says, are you watching this right now? And I said, no, I'm not really. I'm eating lunch right now. We had a really, really nice move to the downside. I got back from lunch. I said, okay, well, let's see if we can get a quick scalp again out of 30-minute support or 5-minute support. We had 5-minute support. So this 5-minute support actually happened yesterday. So a 5-minute double bottom from yesterday, kind of late in the day. I thought, you know what? I'm between two zones, but I've got this safety down here at this level, 501.25. If we can breach 39 to the upside, let's see if we can take to the next level up, 501.85. So I did. So, it was a nice, 50, 60 cent play. 50-cent plays, folks, are really, really nice plays. If you can take, 4, 5, 6, 50-cent plays throughout the day, oh my goodness, you're going to be in really, really, really good shape. So at any rate, cross up, had a cross down over here. Again, didn't take that play. Took this cross to the upside and again, did not let this thing play out. Did not. But check this play out over here. So we tried to get up to, we breached this level 402.64 up in here, bounced around, tried to take out this 502.96. And I was thinking, you know what? 502.96, that's in play today. Maybe even the pre-market high of 503.29. But if we fail to get to specific levels, you know what happens? We go lower. So essentially what happens is if we cannot find the liquidity high, we're going to go searching for the liquidity low. We're just trying to marry the buyers and sellers, folks. That's all we're trying to do. Now, there's a very, very specific level in here. This level happened to be right there, 502.56. I was in with the group and I said, okay, guys, if you are looking for puts right in here, even after this run to the upside, here is your safety. You got 402.64 up top right here. Now, if we can breach 402.56 to the downside, again, this 1-minute zone right here, generally, I like to use the higher time frames, but I saw this to the left. 402.56. If we can breach 402.56 back to the downside, let's see if we can go shoot some targets. So we got this breach to the downside, got below this level right here, folks. So this 402.44. So at that point, we're going to use that level as resistance. Now, bounced around on our way down to our next level, which is 501. And you can see the chart. You know exactly what happened in here. We're going to use the 9 as resistance down to our next level, which happened to be 501.85. If you breach and close above the 9, you're going to at least consider taking the trade off the table. Remember, that's resistance. You don't want to breach resistance to the upside. Okay, so at any rate, look what happened. I mean, we had these candles, these massive, massive candles. This was over a $2 drop, folks. I mean, this was a beautiful $2.50 drop back to the downside. So when you get into one of these plays like this, again, you're shooting for levels. We're just hitting levels all over the place. We got through this level with ease. And I thought, you know what? If we can breach VWAP back to the downside, we bring in this, 501.21 into play. And we did. And we just kept dropping lower. And it was a thing of beauty. So we're shooting for levels, folks. Again, this level down here, $500.46, followed by $500.05. Now, once we had a hard time getting through that level, I thought, you know what, at least for right now, let's take the trade off the table and kind of see what happens. Again, folks, we had a little over an hour left in the trading day at this point. Maybe 2 hours left in the trading day at this point. Is that right? Something like that. Hour and a half, 2 hours, a little over an hour. I thought, you know what? If we can get another cross to the downside, let's see if we can take it. So we crossed down right here, went right back into this area of support at $500.05. And remember, this was a level from yesterday. This level didn't have anything to do with today, other than we knew that there was support at that level. So crossed up, crossed down. And I said on this play right here, I said, you know, and this is super, super late in the day. 23 minutes left in the trading day. I said, okay, group, if we can breach $400.46 again to the downside and get across, that is your level of risk directly above you. So you got about 13, 14 cents worth of risk. That's not a lot of risk. Now, we had some 5-minute zones that we had to get through on this drop right here. And I was calling these out. I said, okay, we've got this level right here, $500.27. It doesn't really seem like a lot, but again, we had what did we have, a quad bottom at that level right there? That's really, really strong support. And just below that, a double bottom at about 23. So we had these zones that we had to get through. If we don't, we're going to make a move back to the upside. We were very, very fortunate. We were able to take out that level right in here, folks. So $500.05. Once we got through that, it was Katie bar the door at that point. We're just shooting for more levels, folks. We're just shooting for more levels. Now, we are early enough in the day where you can see a visual representation of what we look at. This is called volume profile. This level down here is called the POC, the point of control. This is the point at which most money has traded hands during the trading day. So you hear me talk about regularly about heavy volume and thin volume. This is a perfect example of it. These big blue nodes are heavy volume areas. Price tends to move slowly through the heavy volume nodes and more quickly through the light volume or the thin volume nodes. So you can see how, again, you get these big candles through these areas of thin volume, and then they slow down. They slow down, pick up that thin volume again, and we're laying down volume. So there are positions being defended as we go to the upside and we go to the downside, but we are able to see that. And again, that's called volume profile. You can find that on TradingView with KV4 coins. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful visual representation of what we are seeing on the candlesticks. So we got the candlesticks, we got volume down here, and volume profile. When you combine all of those things right there, folks, it is a recipe for really setting yourself up for some good things. But that's how we did it today. That's the long and the short of it. We had really, really nice moves after a rough day yesterday. Didn't make a video yesterday. Had a lot of stuff going on. I got beaten up pretty bad in the morning, but was able to kind of recover from that. Ended the day green yesterday. But again, got beat up pretty good yesterday morning. At any rate, today was a really, really, really good day. Now, don't forget this, folks. The market is closed on Monday. So if you're looking to trade, guess what? The only thing that's going to be available to trade is maybe futures. Not sure about futures, but crypto. So if you trade crypto, you'll be able to trade crypto. I don't know about your money going back into your account, though. I don't know if it'll settle before market opens on Tuesday. But that's how we traded SPY today. So, folks, if you are interested in learning more about the 920 trading strategy, please head on over to 920trading.com. The link is down below. If you're interested in live daily trading, the link for that is also down below. We have a Discord server. It's called Trading Decoded. We would love to have you. Come on over, check it out. We're going to give you that first week for free. Now, if you like our content, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our content. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you will be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day and sometimes on the weekend. And don't forget to leave us a comment. We would greatly appreciate that. And share with your friends. I'd appreciate that also. But anyway, that's how we did it. I hope everybody had a great week. Above all else, I hope you followed your trading plan. And I hope you are getting marginally better every single day. Your job as a trader is to, number one, execute according to your trading plan. And number two, get marginally better every single day. It's those small changes over time, those small daily habits that lead to, over time, the really, really big changes. You won't see them on a day-to-day basis, but over time you will. So try to get marginally better every day. Anyway, I hope everybody has a really, really good weekend. Again, the market is closed on Monday. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with us on this Friday afternoon. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will see you in the markets.